Hello, and welcome to this bourbon whiskey taste challenge. Herbie is watching from India. He says it's 4 a.m. in India. I didn't wake up this morning until 4:11 a.m. Can you believe it? Me. Here's Daviess County straight bourbon whiskey, distilled and aged in Kentucky. And I did my trademark research, and I found out that Daviess County bourbon, Daviess County bourbon, was introduced in 1936. It says heritage from 1874. Yeah, but the actual brand did not come out till 1936, which is still 88 years ago. Got to update something in the notes. Mash. These are both sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Some people don't like the sour mash method, although I don't think too many people are too bothered by it. All right, this is 96 proof. Did I put that? I think I don't have the right number in the notes. Yeah, I knew that. I was coming back to change that and I forgot. 96 proof. Woo! So we got 96 proof here. My friend gave me a great deal, a great gift, because he got this for like $14 a year ago, and the normal price is like $43. I'm not kidding about that. But he was amazed. Like, he was like, how could this be $14? I said, don't ask, just buy it if you want it. What perfume do you use? Oh, perfume. Well, I use aftershave. Well, I do have this obsession that my father gave me. He's always Calvin Klein, he's always giving things away, because then he decides he doesn't like them. But I don't want to talk about that cologne because I'm obsessed with it. Okay, so that's the Daviess. That's the Daviess County from Luxco Distillers, Kentucky. Like I said, I don't think this particular one was introduced in 1936, just the brand, Daviess County, just like this was not introduced in 1955. Evan Williams was, but I think this came out later. But I was looking at some old photos. A guy that collects liquor bottles, and he sells them too if you want to pay money. I'm not saying he's charging too much. It's up to you. They're unopened bottles. They're all full of liquor. It's up to you if you want to buy it. But he's got a bottle he's showing that says aged 10 years. It's 86 proof and it's aged 10 years. So that's the old, and it looks like something from like around 1975. Still got the tax stamp on the bottleneck and all. So that would probably be worth some money, but then that would mean nothing to me because I don't buy liquor for monetary reasons. I just buy them to try, like a hobby. But some people do collect it, and I know they'd be pretty serious about that. So we know, I do know by looking at that old bottle that it's been on the market probably around over 40 years, maybe 50 years, to 1783. The age has changed. It was 10 years, then it was something else, and it was 86 proof, and then it was now 90 proof. And it's no longer 10-year age, but it's 6 to 8 years according to their news release on the Heaven Hill website. I can back that up if somebody calls me out on that. This is the American Heroes Edition bottle, which is not barrel picks, it's warehouse picks. 6 veterans, current and retired veterans, picked different Evan Williams 1783 from warehouses, and the warehouses they settled on were Bernheim Distillery, Louisville, warehouses 1E and 1J. 1E and 1J. I can't read with my glasses on. Somebody told me one time at work, you need to get reading glasses. I said, well, this is a nice embossed bottle too. I said, why would I get reading glasses when I don't need glasses to read? I need glasses to see at a distance. Foil cover, wooden cap, real cork. Oh, tight. It's tight though. Look, real cork. That's a nice addition. So like I said, runs about, you might pay $43, but to find it for 14 was just unreal. And he found it and he gave it to me for a gift, and I like those kind of gifts. These kind of gifts can never get old. Be nice to put the cap back on. All right, so they go into a big production about blending and their warehouses and everything. Started in 1874 by the Daviess County Distilling Company, one of Kentucky's original distilleries. But yeah, but there's something happened or whatever, and then it's not a continuous line back to 1874. But the Daviess County brand, there definitely is evidence that the trademark has been in use since 1936. That's still a long time. So it's under the control of Luxco distillers today. Distilled and aged in Kentucky. Bottled for, now this is an important statement, bottled for Luxco distillers, Bardstown, Kentucky. So, well, we know that somebody makes it, and they bottled it for Luxco. So according to this bottle, that could have changed because they have been opening their own distilleries again, but it's made for them. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was Heaven Hill, because after all, we know Heaven Hill is located in Bardstown. On the other hand, it could be Barton, because Barton 1792, under the ownership of Sazerac, they're also in Bardstown, and they have a big distillery. I visited the Barton 1792 distillery in 2017, back when they used to give tours. They don't anymore, unfortunately, but it's a free tour, free parking. It's very interesting, and I still have about 3 or 4 videos posted from that tour. Very short videos, 30 seconds, at the longest 1 minute. And I just thought people might want to see, what a distillery looks like. Having my daily beer, drinking a local IPA, says Joe Cobb. Going to keep it to 1 or 2 beers today. Not going to get drunk. Good idea. Lord Mortkin says, best alcohol reviewer on the planet. Cheers. I second that comment. Cheers to you. I'm just kidding. It hasn't gone to my head. Well, this might. 96 proof. 90 proof. Oh, man, I hate to see what's going to happen by the end of this video. Ooh-wee. They're both copper, so the appearance is the same, so that won't matter. And a great historian. Well, I try. I like to read about history, No, I'm always reading about history. Like, that's a hobby. And then if I'm not reading about it, I'll be watching historical movies, getting all excited and aggravated, upset about, like, Battle of Gettysburg and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, get all wrapped up in it. Current history. I like current history. I do the same thing, though. I get all wound up, get all outrageous. Generally, yes. Yes, yes. And one website says Daviess has notes of honey lozenge, and orange zest. Do you notice? I don't recall that. Vin Garu. Joe says, everyone tells me don't go to college for history. You'll never find a job, but it is the only thing I really have a passion for. Well, I went to college for history, and I found a job, and I retired from the job, and I get paid every month from the job that I haven't worked at in 12 years. So I guess they're not right. I still have a job. I still have a job, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's a different job. But I was volunteering today at the church fair for 2 hours. I could have stayed longer, but I was on my feet for 8 hours yesterday, man. I was getting tired of standing. But otherwise, I'm going to go back tomorrow, probably work again at the church fair. And I was frying those, what they call those things? The funnel cake. This is funnel cake fries. Pretty easy to fry if you got good, clean oil and it's hot enough. And I think they're pre-fried, so you might like reheating them. But anyway, okay, back to this. I also like computer science and chemistry, but I don't feel confident enough to go to college for that. Well, if you're good at it, you might be very successful. Yeah, other than a professor, but yeah, I get your point. You might be able to get a job in some other areas in history than just be a teacher. It was a Christian school that helped me with my GED, even though I'm not Christian. Nice people. Well, you're not Christian yet. We don't give up hope. Zeppelis. I don't know what that means. Zeppelis. Zeppelis. That's who said it had those things. Jesus gave up upon me. What do y'all? I'm thinking some people might have been drinking before this hangout. You know what I'm saying, folks? You get some rather interesting comments. Usually on a Saturday or Friday night, a Friday or Saturday night, you'll get some comments, you know, and they might have been based on a day full of let's say liquid refreshment. Yeah, never lose hope. I wasn't raised religious. I don't think Saint Augustine was raised religious, but his mother, what his mother was, you know, Saint Monica was helping him. See, so funnel cake fry is a zeppoli. Oh, a zeppoli. Okay, I don't know anything about pastries. Only thing I know about pastries is you eat them. I understand I can choose to be a Christian if I wish. Yeah, you could. You have free will. And we hope people make the right decision. It's a blessing that I was given this like insight, if you want to say, a great gift. Okay, anyway. Orthodox law says. Okay. Getting all kind of comments, people, all kind of comments out there, some of which I understand. Okay. 96 proof. I think in my mind, I think this has the advantage because it's a blend. It's half and half. It's a half and half. It's half rye mash bill, which would be a lot of rye, obviously, and half wheated mash bill. So you got a high rye mash bill and a high wheat or wheated mash bill, as they call them. Here, you've got 78% corn, 12% rye, and 10% malted barley. So it's not a blend of different mash bills. It's one mash bill. Now, it's obviously a blend of different barrels. And it's a blend of two different warehouses, but it's all from one distillery. But you see what I'm saying. So, evening, says Mr. R. Evening to you. Good evening. This is the greatest beer and liquor review channel in the world. And I want the viewers to know I don't pay them that much to say that. I don't actually pay them anything. What are you sipping? Oh, I'm doing these two. All right, here we go. So I'll show you a real quick screen share because I got some college. I should have been watching baseball already. I just didn't feel like it. I was 3 o'clock Central, and then they had college games. Yeah. Okay, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 48% alcohol. You said, to me, that's strong, but you might think it's weak. A premier Kentucky bourbon, of course, that all blend of sweet and spicy, thanks to its unique combination of wheated and rye mash bills. 2 in 1. 2 mash bills in one bottle. I'm not going to read all the tasting notes because A, I can never remember what they say, and B, I never really taste what they're telling me they have. There's also a French oak finish in French oak. I bet that would be very delightful. Cabernet Sauvignon finish. Oak. It has to be oak. You know, it's bourbon. You say, but that's used oak. Yeah, but they're finishing it in it. They're finishing it in the oak from the Cabernet Sauvignon wine barrels, but it's being actually aged in new charred oak barrels, which obviously would have to be a bourbon. Let me see if I can find anything else on here. No age statement, but we know it's at least 4 years old. May not be a second over 4, but we know it's at least 4 years, you know. what were you doing 4 years ago? I was enjoying the snick. Haha. But all these authoritarians running around telling what we need to do. They were getting off on that, boy. You remember that? They were just living it up because they could give people orders. Of course, as we found out, you didn't really have to follow the orders because they would really convict you of anything. So all these threats, you know, they even arrested people and then they let them go later because they were like, yeah, that was just a threat. They didn't actually convict anybody. Eyes up at once and say, hey, you know, take off. We're not doing this. If that would happen, they would have been like, yeah, okay, don't follow it. Don't worry about that. We change our minds. Here's the toasted barrel. Well, I think that would be very nice. Limited edition, which means I know I'm never going to see this because I don't see the blue label. Although I do see it. I just don't see it too often. And then here's the Evan Williams, the classic here, which is sort of like Evan Williams. Black label is the Budweiser, this Michelob. You know what I mean? No, I mean. So if you find the black label Evan Williams 86 proof, that's your Budweiser. This is your Michelob. Or that's your Ford. This is your Mercury. Remember Mercury cars? All right. So that's what you got there. Oh, back to this one. They have a 101. See, their focus is on blending because that's what their bourbons are all about. Kind of like Johnny Walker. It's all about blending. They claim the best whiskeys together to make the best product. So you can learn the steps. You can download the guide. What is whiskey blending? It's the craft of mixing two or more whiskeys, most commonly found in ... They go on and talk about it. And what you need to get started. And did you know? And they've got different steps. Choose a taste profile. Select a base whiskey. Report. Well, yeah, of course you have to have a base whiskey. But anyway, that's very interesting. Very interesting that they would take that approach. But as we know, some people are fanatics. And if you say the word blending, they flip out. They like lose their minds. And they'll be like, no one likes blended whiskey. Yeah, right. No one except, you know, most people. But they think it's sacrilegious to take this whiskey in this left hand and blend it with another whiskey in your right hand, and you make a new whiskey. They are just fanatical about it. They're like, no, I only drink single malt. That is used in blended whiskey, of course. Single malt is used in blended Scotch whiskey, but you don't have to just limit yourself. You could do more than one thing in your life, and it won't be a sin. In this case, they're talking about Clint Eastwood. How is the taste challenge going? It's going fine. I haven't exactly started, but I'm about to. I really love Scotch finished in sherry barrels like Glen Farkless 15. Glen Farkless 15. I'm sure I would like it. You know me. I've been on a Dickel kick lately. George Dickel. I did one of those just the other day. If you ever see it, you should buy some, Ron. It was about $100 Canadian, maybe a bit pricey, but you won't get anything better for the price. I mean, I would try it, but if you came to my house and went in that other room that's behind me and you saw all that liquor, you'd be like, oh, yeah, you don't need to buy any more. And I wouldn't argue with it. Yeah, I can remember how terrible the pandemic was in Canada. Oh, 2020 was such a strange time. Well, it was just authoritarians acting like authoritarians, you know. They get off on that, you know. They got, like me and you, we just watch videos, hang out, have a good time, and we don't really want to have control over the whole town or county or parish. We have parishes, or state or country or world. But there's some people that's their hobby. In other words, that's what interests them. That's what they enjoy, trying to control the whole, like I said, if it was possible, the whole world. They just can't pull it off. So sometimes they'd be satisfied with just controlling their entire town and telling people what to do. We call those authoritarians. And if they want to control every part of your life, which some of these very clearly do, we call them totalitarians. They want to control your total life, which was exemplified by what we saw in 2020, 21, started dying out in 2022 when they realized they weren't going to get away with it, with this scamdemic. Sir John Hindu, what? In Canada, our truckers made a huge protest. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the government got spooked, so it kind of went down, kind of slowly brought it down after they got spooked. They didn't want another, they were scared they might see another Boston Tea Party, you know? So the British Empire was like, let's get together and bring it down. We are very proud to be Canadian because we stood up as a nation and said no. Well, that's good. All right, well, I can't keep going through these comments. You know, I got to get to the point here. Got to get to the deal. Sweet, oaky, corny, typical, same old thing, right? I mean, I say that every time. It's like the same old thing. But the only thing is, it's the same old good thing. You know, it's the same old thing, but it's a good thing because bourbon is good. Never submit, ever sever from Christ. He empowers you. Okay, I agree. I read a chapter a day in the Bible every day since 1989. I try to do the right thing. Don't always succeed. Original sin. We're tempted. We fall. We know this. We are not in heaven yet, but we look forward to it and in all of that. And I'm not trying to blow that off because I take it seriously, but you know what I'm saying. And that's why we go to church, to receive the sacraments, which help us. Help us in our journey. Okay. Aroma. This one's sweeter. I think more bready, like a single malt scotch would be. You know, that bread. This one might have more spice, but I can't really tell which is which. I think 90 proof versus 96. This camera's driving me nuts. I think that should probably make the difference. Now, officially, neither one of these has an age statement. So technically, they're both non-age stated, okay? You'll never find an age statement on either bottle. In reality, this one is aged 6 to 8 years. Evan Williams is aged 6 to 8 years. I'm talking about the 1783. I did not hear that from some guy who says he's in the industry. No, I heard it from Evan Williams on their website in a press release, okay? This is not secondary information. Well, I mean, it is because you're hearing it from me, who heard it from them. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you firsthand information. That's what they said. It's aged 6 to 8 years. It's sour mash bourbon. And then they gave the mash bill. What about the Catholic idea that good people go to heaven regardless of letting Christ in your heart? I find that comforting. That's not actually the teaching. The teaching is that there's only one name under heaven by which men must be saved. They just read that in church 2 weeks ago. Like the Pope John Paul II said, all men must bow down before the throne of Christ. Okay. There is no Catholic idea that you could say, well, I'm just not going to follow Jesus because I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm going to take a different pathway to the waterfall. Well, that would make you probably a Freemason, and that would be a different pathway that would be concocted in some place like, you know, with the guys with the pitchforks and the little horns, you know. But so no, that's not a Catholic teaching. All right, taste. That is what I'm thinking is a misunderstanding of a Catholic teaching. Okay. Oh, nice wood, nice corn. It's got that Kentucky hug, i.e., in other words, the burn. It's mild, mellow, smooth, easygoing. It's got the vanilla. It's got all the concomitant bourbon-esque, or not bourbon-esque, but the actual bourbon flavors of the vanilla. Of course, the corn first, the vanilla. The I call it honeysuckle nectar, and I think that's accurate. Sometimes it's candied fruit cake fruit, like you get in those Mylar bags if you're going to make fruit cake, and those kind of things. It's medium body, dry finish. They usually like that. I think what will give this away be a little bit more rye spice, perhaps, and the higher proof, 96. Yeah, Freemason. Thank you. But that's their teaching. Their teaching is, oh, forget all that religious, silly stuff. Do it your way. It's like Burger King, you know. But it's not like Burger King. You know, Burger King is you're buying hamburgers, which is a relatively trivial matter, but your eternal destination is not trivial. And so don't let them lead you down the wrong road. Now, over here, you know what? This tastes like Evan Williams. And I'm going to tell you why I think it tastes like Evan Williams. It's got the corn, it's got the sweet corn, it's got almost like a cornbread, but then there's the sourdough aspect. But of course, they both have sourdough. They both not have sourdough. They both are sour mash bourbons. They don't actually have any dough at all. But you know what I'm saying? And so, but the Evan Williams does seem to have that sourdough. Like it's like these Linders or what's the other one? Taylor, I think they make sourdough bagels. They got that little, like literally try them. It's like a sour twang to them, which I like. Other people would find highly offensive. But they appeal to me. That kind of stuff appeals to me, and I find it's distinct. Now, however, I'm not overconfident, and I'm not exactly even confident at this point. I think the burn aspect of this is showing me, and it's not a bad burn, it's showing me that it's the Daviess County, which I was very impressed by Daviess County. I did not have a lot of experience with Luxco bourbon. I had some Luxco, not Luxco, but Luxco bourbons and blended whiskeys, which is a little bit different than Luxco actually, but it's the same umbrella company. But so those had an interesting flavor and body and everything. But these Luxco, I'm getting into it now, and there's so many. It take me a 1,000 years. Check back in 1,000 years, and I'll be still working on it. But they do have a distinctive quality, and I would love to try them all. And I know I never will be able to. I don't know why somebody would take exception to them. They all seem very nice. I've never had Rebel Yell. I've never had Rebel, the new name, because of these communists. You know what I'm saying? But I've had this Daviess County here. I've never had Rebel Yell. I've had oh, I mean, it's just a handful. It's not even worth talking about. It's so minimal. So my experience with Luxco bourbons is just negligible, but I would like to try more. And we get a lot of them. A space LOT, lot, a lot of them. Oh, I could find so many. I could preoccupy myself with Luxco bourbons for really the rest of my life, I think. But I've been jumping around, you know, I can't get settled in these. I'll be jumping from Heaven Hill, then I'm jumping to Buffalo Trace, then I'm jumping to Barton Distillery, and I'm jumping over to Brown Foreman. So I can't decide, and I probably never will. Yeah. Oh yeah, pay no mind. I call everyone a communist if they disagree with me. Kneel before Zod. An earthquake is in my body. It's 10%. Oh, Jaime Torres, please don't drink earthquake high gravity lager. But I might revisit it one day, but let's hope it's not soon. This has the charred oak. It's just kind of, hate to say it like this, it's kind of blander in a way, and I don't think that's a correct expression of what I'm thinking, But this one seems a little blander, but I don't think that's accurate. Accurate. Tickle 8 on my side. Oh, I've never had that one. Funny thing. All right, so I'm going to call this the Evan Williams. Do I think it's better or worse? Well, it's better because it's $18.99, and this one is about $38. So yeah, I guess I'd rather pay $18.99 than $38.99. Now you might find this $32.99. But chances are you won't. But like I've said, my friend David found it for $14. He was amazed. He couldn't get over that. He was like, $14. He's like flipping out. I said, I'd be flipping out too if I found it for $14. So that was a triumph, a triumph. So, but we can't go by these crazy Louisiana specialty prices that we stumble upon, right? We got to go by the regular price. So, like I'll say about 30. Let's say $35 because there's a high end and a low end, but let's just say 35. Is it worth 35? I suppose it is. I'm glad I got it for free. Is this one worth $18.99? Yes, it is. But I got it for $9. It wasn't a gift. I found it. Well, a friend of an acquaintance of mine. We're not friends, but we might be friends. He's a cool guy. But he found this for me for $9 plus tax, and I paid it, and it is such a deal. But it is worth the regular $18.99. I can't lie. Everybody's telling each other cheers, having some jalapeno potato salad. I would like that. They don't have the flavored high gravity lagers in Las Cruces, New Mexico, unfortunately. So I always add the lemon citrus. Yes, I found some of the flavored ones though before. I found pineapple and black cherry. I found earthquake pineapple and earthquake high gravity, both 10% and both in Mississippi in the 23.5-ounce cans. And they were both artificially flavored. So it just goes to show you the magic you can work with artificial flavorings. No real cherries or real pineapple ever touched those beers. Trying to eat more vegetables myself. That's a good idea. I had some spinach salad earlier. Had broccoli with wait a minute. Broccoli with bechamel cheese sauce. I never heard of that, but it sounds like something I would like. I never tried a cheese yet I didn't like. This is a challenge. So if it's this much of a challenge and I keep stalling and it's going long, Michelob Cactus is great. I know where to find it. I think I can taste the caramel and Foster's Premium Ale. No, I don't think you can. You make a roux with flour and then add milk and add cheese. Oh, and butter. Flour, butter, milk, and cheese. Yes, that sounds like something that would suit me. Honestly, if I'm having this much trouble, that means that Evan Williams has to win. And the reason Evan Williams wins, it's a $20 cheaper bottle. I mean, $20, you might be a big shot, and $20 means nothing to you, and that's good. But it means a lot to most people, even today. So I would say save the $20 and get the Evan Williams. Is it technically better? It may not technically be better, but you're definitely not getting $20 better bourbon on this. It's better, maybe. I haven't even determined if I got it right yet. But yeah, okay, David would hate your view on artificial flavorings. Well, I mean, I was being cheeky and sarcastic, of course. You seem accurate. You seems accurate. You can make artificial grape flavoring with the disposable plastic gloves they use in hospitals. A chemist did it on YouTube. Yeah, it's about time to stop reading comments, folks. All right. So last chance. See you tomorrow morning. Go and watch baseball now. I'm going to say this is Evan Williams. Honestly, they're pretty close, even though this is a blend of two mash bills. But these things can kind of like force each other out. Like you blend this, blend that, and into two different brands, and then it's sort of like pushes each other's characteristics back, and then they're kind of like the same. But I'm going to say this is Evan Williams. No, it's the Daviess County, and I feel you can see I was stalling because I was feeling funny about it. Oh man, the third defeat. Oh man, I just can't get over it. But I have to get over it. Oh, this is disgusting. That was the Daviess County. Oh well. I don't feel good about it. I'll be back to I just oh golly gee. Well, tomorrow we're gonna start with Sazerac products, and Buffalo Trace. You know, Buffalo Trace. I got a lot of those. Will I be able to tell it apart from the Buffalo Trace? I hope so. If I went and finished this challenge series with only 3 defeats, I could live with that. 3 losses, because it would be like 13. Yeah, it'd be like 13-3. I could live with 13-3 or 12-3. But golly, this thing's got me so aggravated. No, we have a near winner. We don't have no winner. We got a loser. You're just like Rocky, always losing. Well, he won the second fight against Apollo Creed, so why are you scared to review Everclear grain alcohol? I'm not scared to review it. I'm just smart enough not to review it. Golly gee willikers. Yeah, it's terrible for your liver. Yeah. I'm not scared to review anything. I'm just smart enough to not review some things. I'm not going to review Everclear. I'm not going to review Diesel. I'm not going to review Gem Clear. They're all the same thing. Grain neutral spirits, 190 proof. They're probably all just as good as one of the other. Everclear's the famous one, you know, the really famous one. But a lot of people know about Diesel. And if you go to the Midwestern states, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, they know about Gem Clear, G-E-M, Gem Clear. They know about it. Probably got a lot of people are disabled today because of it. Scary. Rest in peace, Apollo Creed. Yes. Gosling's Black Seal Overproof Rum. Yes, I can get that. But I've never reviewed an overproof rum, and I'm terrified to do it. Oh, wait, I just said I wasn't scared. Oh, yeah, I'm too smart to do it. I caught myself. There's one called Clear Springs. Oh, I think I have heard of that. And I think that one is from Jim Beam. I think Clear Springs is one of those Jim Beam products that they don't like to talk about. And I have one on my shelf in the other room if you want to see it. Dare to be great. I'm daring to be great. I just haven't achieved it. But I'll settle for mediocre. If anybody wants to see some exciting products coming up, let me know. But otherwise, I'm out of here. It's been going on too long. All right. Y'all take care. Clear Springs. Oh, yeah. I'm almost certain that it's a Beam product. And I have evidence to back that up. Well, I think I have evidence to back that up. All right. Y'all take care. And see you tomorrow morning for another Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Bye-bye.